You know, sometimes I watch videos and think to myself, yeah, there's just no hope for us sometimes.
Can I be honest with you about something?
Yeah, of course. What's up, baby?
I was really sad that you didn't buy my coffee this morning at coffee. I was really sad about it.
You were sad?
I was sad.
Why are you sad, baby?
Because you were the one who offered to go to coffee, so I thought, oh my God, he's gonna buy me coffee. And you didn't, and that's okay. I just wanted you to know that I was sad.
I'm
Not
sorry.
as a way to like persuade you to do it.
But this is exactly what you're doing. Like, you being sad that he didn't buy you the coffee has nothing to do with him at all, really. Like, it's your own feelings.
Right. Because the coffee's already been bought.
Yeah, it's right here. There's my name on it because I bought it.
Yeah, thank you for showing me that.
I just wanted to let you know.
Okay. I'm sorry I didn't buy your coffee. Can I be honest with you?
Sure.
I was hoping you'd buy my yerb for me.
I offered to buy your yerb. I don't mean to not acknowledge you, but I offered to buy your yerb and you said no. So,
Well, thank you for offering.
of course. Glad we had a very nice
Healthy conversation.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Mwah.
I love you.
I love you too. Sorry.
Cooked.
Fucking bitch.
I loved that. I found that fascinating. You can tell from her perspective, she thinks that she did like a really good job. She was
Yep.
honest about her emotions. She wasn't making any demands on him. She was just expressing her
It was all performative, though. Like, you literally put the camera up and you perform to be the understanding, communicative person.
feelings, and she feels good about herself because that's what she wants to receive. And that makes sense to women, right? Like that they want to receive emotions without them being complicated with any like plans or suggestions or solutions. Those kinds of expectations, they taint the emotional experience. But while she's like patting herself on the back for just staying, you know, in her emotions, oh man, it's so interesting. My mind is moving 1,000 miles an hour. I have so much that I want to say. She's making a massive mistake because in giving him what she would like to receive, she's not calibrating her communication style to the way that works for men. Because she thinks that she's doing him a favor by not dictating to him what she wants him to do, you know, by not providing him with any explicit instructions or expectations. She thinks she's being generous to him. You know,
Well, because she wants him to read his mind. That's the thing about women, Alex, right? We know that because she didn't lay out exact expectations, she has them in her head. She knows exactly what she wants in her head.
she's not ordering him about. And she thinks that's great because she would hate that. She doesn't want to be ordered about. She just wants to be listened to. But men actually prefer to be told what to do in the sense that they want to know what it is that you want because we don't want to guess. Men like things to be out in the open. They like things to be clear. And while he doesn't want you to be a nag and just like, you know, giving him orders and instructions, in situations like this, when you clearly do have an expectation that you want something specific from him, men want you to name it. They want you to say what it is because, you know, this whole conversation is making him uncomfortable. And so mentally he's thinking, what do I need to do differently in the future so that I don't upset you, so that we don't have to talk about this? And so if you know that you're not going to be upset, if you just create a rule like, hey, anytime you ask me out for coffee, can you please pay? That will make me feel great. Then he can lock that away in his brain of like, okay, cool. That's the rule.
True communication, you know, actually telling me what you want.
I know what I need to do so that she's happy and not upset at me. No problem. Now, he might agree with that rule or he might disagree, or there might need to be a discussion and negotiation of how that might work. But he's okay with that process. He'll be invested in it because at the end, he's going to have a result that he likes because he's going to know what you want and where he stands. He wants the expectations of him to be clear. That's actually reassuring to him. That makes him feel regulated. What he's not going to be thrilled about is actually the way that you went about this because he's not a woman. See, from his perspective, what you just did is you You just gave him a bunch of emotions without any clear instructions on what to do with them, and they're all in the past. It's not even you're pissing me off right now that we can change. It's I was pissed off, I was sad about something that you did in the past. Here you go. Here's that sadness. And he looks at that sadness. I don't know what to do with this. And admittedly, I don't think this guy handled it very well. I don't know if he's laughing, at her out of nervousness or maybe like contempt. Like he's like, oh, this is so
I think it was contempt, at least from what I can see personally, but
silly. Is struggling to not laugh. But for her part, she could make things so much easier if she just learns to package her emotional communication with some clear expectations as well. Don't just give us raw emotions, give us something that is actionable. That's what we want. There's such a big difference between a woman who says, I'm really sad about what you did, and then she just stops talking and it's just like lingering silence. And he's like, okay, you're sad, but he doesn't know what to do with that. Compare that to a woman who says, I was really sad about what happened. Do you think maybe next time we could do it like this? So much easier for a man to be like, oh, that made you sad? I'm so sorry. I understand.
I mean, if it makes sense, like logically sometimes, it's like, oh yeah, my bad. I can see that. I can see that.
And yes, we can definitely make that change. Ladies, you can still have your emotions validated. I know that's a big thing for you. That's what you want. But meet him halfway. Help the poor guy out. Tell him what it is that you expect, what it is that you want.
Us men are pretty dense, right? We can't really read the in between the lines that much because we don't live in between the lines. We live on hard fucking lines. We know exactly what usually things are. Where women are just constantly in between everything, constantly talking in between everything. So you don't even truly know what the fuck they're talking about.
So that he knows what to do differently next time. Please don't just make him guess.
2025, I'm dating for money, not love. Sorry, I'm dating for money, not love. I have always entered relationships with like a 50-50 mindset. Like I'm always ready for like equality, even though there is no equality because we live in a patriarchy. So why am I acting equal?
See, like they say they've always entered it with the 50-50. No, you've never not. Like, most women don't enter relationships in with the 50-50 mindset. No, they enter relationships thinking they're going to get taken care of in some way, shape, or form.
I've never ever thought that I would be the type of person who would want to date someone for money, but dating for love isn't working.
It's so obvious that equality is not actually a principle that these feminist women believe in. It's just a strategy that they employ to get more stuff, and they'll abandon it the moment that it stops paying dividends. And for her, love is just a strategy too. She doesn't really believe in it because she's judging love on a utilitarian basis. Like, okay, I'll approach relationships with love as long as it's working, but if it's not working, I'll abandon it and I'll start thinking about money instead.
I'm not enjoying myself, and transparently, inflation is crazy. Like, I only have a few good years left in me. Like, I am going to use them for what they're worth.
Okay, you do that, but let me warn you that when you treat your body like a commodity to be
you just get pumped and dumped,
traded on the marketplace, men are going to treat you the same way. But they're just following your lead, so don't complain about men objectifying you or being transactional in relationships. You did that to yourself. Human relationships can be so beautiful, but they can also just be so ugly when you're not trying to actually build something from another person. You're just thinking strategically how you can, direct all of their energy and their resources towards yourself by feigning love or leveraging your body. It's really dark. And she's acting like she's got some kind of empowerment vibe going on, like she's reached.
She looks like 40.
Some kind of, realization. But there's nothing of depth here. This isn't self-growth. She's not looking for a partnership. She's just selling off her inventory. She's liquidating her assets and she's trying to make that
clearance
sound empowering, but it's not. And you know that it's not because...
Like what the Godfather always say, Salvation Army.
If the exact same language was being used by men, she would identify it quite correctly as being sexist. And of course, these kinds of women always blame external factors. It's never their fault. They're always perpetual victims. It's patriarchy, it's inflation. But what she's doing is a choice. She chose this. She's choosing to adapt her pricing model to match her depreciation. Her words, not mine. She said herself she's only got a few good years left, so she's going to get what she can out of it. That is so dark. That is just grim.
I'm home, and
I just need a few pennies, that's all I'm worth now.
Like, I have chairs upside down. I have two for vacuums in there. What are they called? Going, like, running. Dysons, cleaning up litter. Like, I clean up after the dogs. You didn't even take the dogs out. I had to take them out. I had to throw the trash stuff. You didn't know to see. I did all kinds of stuff. And then you come in with your little hat on, pressing your beer, drinking a coffee. I'm like, bro, you didn't see I had a whole tornado.
Let me remind you. Oh. Dude,
That's a nice fucking house.
do you have anything else to say?
Nah, I'm cool.
You know what I've realized watching these clips is that in my relationship, there's no complaining. Neither Emily or I ever complain to the other person, certainly not about that person. Complaining is just not allowed. That's like against the rules. And maybe that seems extreme to you, but I really... Like, I don't understand. I don't think there's any healthy component of complaining. Why should it be allowed? Why has this been normalized, people complaining? If you have a problem, you can communicate it like an adult. I would not tolerate this woman complaining like this. I don't even let my daughter complain, and she's 5. I just think that complaining is pointless. It's an inherently toxic behavior. It's not cooperative. It's not solution-oriented. It doesn't help you.
It's like wallowing in self-pity.
You regulate your emotions or help you take accountability for anything. Complaining is just trying to annoy somebody, trying to wear them down. You're trying to extract something from somebody by pissing them off or by making them feel sorry for you or making them feel bad about themselves. That's toxic, and it's become way too common with women. And I get why they like it, because if you're just complaining, then you don't have to explicitly ask for what it is that you want. You can avoid that responsibility. If that just feels too vulnerable for you to state your needs plainly, you can just complain. That way you don't need to make a direct request. But that's so lazy, and it puts way too much pressure that's unfair on your partner. If they're going to fix whatever's bothering you, if they're going to improve the situation, they need to know what it is that you want. Complaining doesn't help.
This is pretty much most relationships, right? And this is when women get so upset and they feel like the man is doing everything wrong and all this. The man has no clue that there's anything even wrong, right? They're complaining to women, complaining to other people, but there really isn't anything wrong.
Communicates nothing. It's aggressive. It's pointless. I see no redeeming qualities to complaining at all. That's why I don't complain in my family, and I don't let Emily or my daughter complain to me. That's not how we communicate. That's what makes it so difficult to relate to these guys who just sort of sit there and they grin and bear it. Grin and bear it? Is it grim and bear it? Or grin and bear it? I'm going to look that up. The correct phrase is grin and bear it. It means to stoically endure pain, difficulty, or an unpleasant situation without complaining. That's it.
That makes sense.
Men are expected to put up with women complaining and to not complain about how much they're complaining, because that would be toxic masculinity or something. No, the whole thing's fucked.
It's crazy.
Men don't complain and don't put up with complaints. If the people in your life want you to do something, they can tell you. If you want something to change, then say what it is. Say what you want. It's pretty fucking simple.
If I die, someone take out my husband. And by take out, I mean, okay, because he doesn't have permission to, he can go ahead and join me, is what I'm saying. Make it quick, make it painless. Unless he gives you attitude, then if he gives you attitude and resists, you can toss him around a little and you can tell him I sent you.
Look, I get that she's joking and I don't find it funny. That's not me being a snowflake or whatever. It's because I understand that the source of this humor is meant to be the fact that it's relatable.
Yes. Remember, the humor has that sliver of truth.
You know, this kind of casual, homicidal, like possessiveness, you know, that's meant to be an instinct, like a feeling that a lot of women can relate to. So they're watching this like, oh, yeah, totally. That's the appeal. That's the humor. Like women seeing this and be like, oh, yeah, I feel the same way. So funny. But I think that's why it's not funny to me. Like why like this kind of female dark humor is lost on me, because I can't relate to it. And so when the feeling that she's like pointing at or hinting at with her humor, it doesn't find anything inside me, any equivalent experience to draw upon, I don't know. It falls flat for me. And I'm always suspicious too that women like this, they're using like this kind of dark humor to test out.
Yeah, I'm always feeling it. It's always kind of like, if she really wants to say what she wants to say, she can't say it. So she's going to use this to cover it up.
You know, the social acceptability of certain instincts and feelings that they have. Like they're using the humor to run a little test, a little experiment to see how socially acceptable the dark fantasies they have in their mind are. But if you're using jokes to test out pathological ideas, you're not really being edgy. You're just seeing socially how much toxicity you're allowed to get away with.
Say that the bar is so low with men that we talk about them like they're preschoolers. It's like, yeah, he's still learning to talk about his feelings. Yeah, but he does know about questions. Yeah.
I've seen a lot of this recently, this kind of condescension from women towards men, like infantilizing them, trying to put on this air of superiority. And it's so transparently a mask for the fear and anxiety that women feel about how dependent they actually are on men with regards to emotional regulation. But so many women are too proud to admit that they rely upon his stoicism and the fact that he's calm and grounded in order to regulate herself. And so, because she doesn't want to admit that, she actually acts like she's superior and that the men are just stupid and simple. I've asked this question before, and I'm going to continue to ask it until I hear an answer that makes sense. You say that men are clueless. Okay, but then why do you keep coming, asking for help, asking us to be there for you? Like, which is it? Are we useless and hopeless and no idea what we're doing? Because if we are, then why do you seem so dependent upon whatever it is that we are providing? Maybe just
why do you always need us for something?
Be a grown up and just admit that you do need masculinity. You do need masculine presence.
I mean, it's just like most men can admit they want feminine presence. Femininity is awesome. It's a wonderful thing that complements our masculinity. We don't hate on it. We want more of it. Please like, subscribe, comment down below. I really appreciate that. And catch you guys next time. Ciao.